You challenged the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman today. What happened?
Yeah, I certainly did. And, you know, one of the things that was talked about today, and I was at the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, where obviously the Russians are saying they want to reorient their economy away from any sort of ties to the West, because obviously there are all these sanctions. But it was also about those weapons deliveries from the Biden administration and from U.S. allies, and the Russians essentially accusing the United States of fueling the conflict in Ukraine. So I asked the spokeswoman for the foreign ministry about some of the things that Vladimir Putin has been saying. In fact, that he believes that he is in the history of Peter the Great and is now essentially taking back land he believes is Russian land, essentially, there in Ukraine. And that led to a pretty testy exchange. Here's what happened.
The president of the Russian Federation on Thursday said, and he likened the special military operation by Russia, the invasion of Ukraine, to the things that Peter the Great did in the Great Northern War, and said that Russia was, in his estimation, taking back territory that was rightfully Russia's and strengthening it. Is that not an admission of a severe breach of international law?
When will you start using the same tone of voice when you question your own authorities? Why do you use that tone of voice when you question us? Take a look at 2014. We had a referendum.
The big question is, take back and strengthen other countries' territories. Is that not a violation of international law?
Was there a legal basis to invade Iraq?
I'm not talking about Iraq now. You are invading a sovereign country. That is the question.
You mentioned our invasion and occupation of territories. What territories are you talking about?
Well, for instance, the entire region around the Azov Sea, the invasion trying to go towards Kiev, where the Russian army was beaten back, large parts of the Luhansk and Donetsk oblasts, which were under the control of the Ukrainian military. And then you have the region around Kherson.
So are you talking about Donetsk and Luhansk? Maybe you have more information than I have. I don't have this information about Kyiv. The territories of Donetsk and Luhansk are acknowledged as sovereign states. There are referendums, as I said, reflecting the will of the people.
If the Russian president says what's going on in Ukraine is taking back land that is intrinsically Russian land and strengthening that land, can you please explain to me, what does that mean? Where does it end? And is that not a violation of international law?
You say I don't answer your question. You just don't like the way I answer it. I am answering it. Perhaps it clashes with your vision. America said they are exceptional, and we said this concept is wrong. But I can tell you that the US troops are now in Syria. Nobody asked them to come.
So that was the spokeswoman for Russia's foreign ministry. Meanwhile, Anderson, the former president of this country, Dmitry Medvedev, on his social media account, he questioned whether Ukraine would actually still be on the world's map 2 years from now. So as you can see there, the Russians certainly not backing down. And one of the things that you keep hearing from the authorities in Moscow, from the Kremlin, from Russia's foreign ministry, is that Russia will not stop with what it's doing in Ukraine until it has achieved all its objectives, obviously with all the consequences for Ukraine and its people.